So anyway, yeah, that's really cool. So you hooked up with Matter, which is a local organization here. Was that separate from your Children's Matter organization, or is this kind of a joint effort?
Well, we're going to bore people to death if we talk about structure. The main thing is that the Children Matter NGO is there to put on the event September 20th. Gene Simmons Band, Cheap Trick, Jayhawks, Don Felder. I mean, that's the real story. To do a charitable donation structure and show people how the two charities get together is going to bore them to tears, and they go, "Why are you telling me this?"
Let me back up here. I disagree a little bit because I just want to know, I think it's important that it's a local group that you're working with, and I think that's exciting.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct. Matter More is based in Minneapolis and is headed by Megan and Dennis Doyle, who are possibly the largest real estate family in the area. And they go out of their way to give back. And in the past, I've been involved in many of their charitable events, wrote checks myself.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to hold a Matter event in Los Angeles, and I said that it's difficult to get traction in Los Angeles from out-of-town folks, as you know. So let's start a new one called Let Children Matter, which gets your brand up there, but also feels localized, if you see what I mean. But ultimately, it's all about getting help to people who need it the most, and that's, innocent children who can't fend for themselves.
Yeah.
Right now in Houston, there are tens of thousands of families who are just destroyed by this hurricane.
Yeah.
And you, me, and everybody else in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area can do something about it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to get too morbid about it. Let's just go to a concert, have fun, and know that the proceeds go to actually helping fellow Americans. How's that?
No, that's great. No, that's really cool. And I think it goes along with, I got to say, one of the things I really liked on the Family Jewels show is when you kind of went to Africa and you got involved with helping the children there. So it seems like something that you're pretty passionate and consistent about in terms of your philanthropy and these kinds of things. Would you agree?
Well, how about if you have a child and you happen to be born in the wrong place at the wrong time and you can't feed your child?
Yeah.
What can you do? So whether it's in Africa or whether it's in Houston with a hurricane hitting, we all have to do our part. That includes our veterans who are returning from overseas to get involved there in pediatric aids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of need. There's a lot of need everywhere, and we should all do what we can.
Tikkun Olam, my brother.
Well said.
Yeah. Well, that's great, and I think people sometimes they don't always see that side of Gene Simmons. So I feel like
I don't care about that.
No, I know, but that's a reality. I think you get a short-changed on a lot of your efforts that I think are really positive. And
if I get short-changed, all my houses around the world, thank you deeply. Not everybody likes Jesus either. And my job is not to tug on your shirt sleeves and try to convince you I'm a good guy. You know what? Take it as you will. Some people like me, some people don't. That's okay.
Well,
okay.
I think one of my favorite things about you is that you don't pretend to be anything that you're not, and you're fairly consistent with the.
Life's too short.
Yeah. That's awesome. So tell me more about the solo band. I know it's your favorite new band. How many gigs have you guys been doing? This is pretty new for you, right?
Yeah, it started naturally this year. I headlined the YPO conference in Vancouver. Canadian Prime Minister was there, Trudeau and so on, and a lot of important people. And they asked me to get up after my speech and play a few tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I can't just do that. Got need fellow musicians and so on. But let me think about it. So I came back to them, found a bunch of really great musicians who are based in Nashville. Without rehearsing, I just sent them song titles and the keys, and we got up in Vancouver and played, and I was surprised at how good it was. Chemistry either exists or it doesn't. and it felt natural and stuff. And since the beginning of January of this year, we've done, I don't know, 20 shows. We have another 20 or 30 to go. I leave for South America shortly, and then Japan. But this is all between what KISS is doing, because KISS continues in full force.
Yeah.
We're playing 4 outdoor shows this month at the end of the month in Texas. So everybody's busy.
Yeah.
But I don't like to take time off.
Yeah, I know that. And do you feel like these gigs are a little not easier, but like there's less choreography. There's less, obviously, you're not having to put on the suit and the makeup every night. Do you have, is it a different kind of fun for you?
It's a completely different kind of fun. You know, as girls will tell you, when they go out Saturday night and they put on their little black dress, it also means 2 hours of makeup and stuff and high heels and all that. But, you know, when they get together with their fellow chicks and have, you know, either a shopping day or let's go to the gym day, you don't dress up and you don't spend the time, but that's still fun too. It's just a different kind of fun.
Yeah. And of course, you don't mind the focus being on you.
No, I've always been delusional in my sense of self. They call it self-esteem, but I'd say it bears on delusional.
You know, somebody forwarded me this, they were doing some research on studios in Minneapolis, and there was a comment I think it was from the 76, that you had recorded some demos here. Do you recall that at all?
Yeah, that's true, and that's a nice segue to let everybody know that.
There you go. I set you up. Yeah. Tell me about that.
This coming week, I'll be announcing today's show on CBS and all that. The largest box set of all time, containing 150 songs over the last 50 years. All these tracks have never been released.
Yeah.
They'll be Bob Dylan and I co-wrote together, and you know, the KISS guys will be on it. And Joe Perry, Ace Frehley sings 2 songs. I mean, it's the largest box set of all time, and it'll be announced in a few days. And
where is this material been all this time? You kind of have a lot of this in storage. I mean, how many hours are we talking of material that you went through?
Well, this material, if you started listening to the box set, it would take you 18 hours straight.
Yeah.
To get through it.
Yeah.
To get through it.
And so, I mean, of the stuff that you had, like how much did you have that you had to go through to kind of select what you were going to put in the box set?
I have hundreds of songs.
Yeah.
That have been recorded over the years that I've never put out.
Yeah. And do you remember recording in Minneapolis? Do you remember what maybe songs you might have done? Yeah.
Actually, I do, and there's a big 10-pound book that has photos and you know, studio photos and stories about where I did the demos and all that.
Yeah.
And you'll see when you read it, you'll see your name up in lights. They just gave me the high five sign, which means I've got to jump on to the next.
Okay. Sure. Just one last thing. You know, I want to get your impression on Charlottesville and what happened. I know you've kind of talked some about the presidential stuff and politics. You don't get too deep into it, but you know, what are you feeling about the country and kind of this extra focus on kind of this neo-fascism that's happening? I mean, this must bother you in some ways.
No, it doesn't. Actually, the fact that we're having the conversation is the healthiest thing. That can happen.
Yeah.
The fact that the neo-Nazis and the fascists and the racists actually come up, and so we can actually see them and take note of them, tells us that America does have some cancer within it. So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Let those people march. Let's take photos of them and find out who they are, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Because they walk among us, and they're here to destroy America.
Yeah.
That's not going to stand. In terms of our president, I know the man well enough.
Yeah.
Look, politics aside, you can like what he says, you can hate what he says. You have the ultimate power. We the people. And the next time there's an election cycle, if you like what the president does, you'll vote him back in. And if you don't like what he does, you'll want him back out. But for sakes, let's not turn on each other.
Yeah.
People can't agree on peanut butter and jelly. Oh, I like mine just with peanut butter. Okay, well, I like mine with jelly. So
yeah.
People don't get too hot and bothered about politics. The president is in charge.
Yeah.
There's sections, there's sections of government that are there to check and balance the president.
Yeah.
And unless he breaks the law, he will be the president for 3.5 more years.
Yeah.
And then you can have a choice of letting him stay president or not.
Well, certainly with your background, though, I mean, some of this stuff must bother you a little more personally, and
Everything bothers me, but you're leading the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
In other words, how somebody, the reason they have a curtain for when you decide to vote is because it's nobody's damn business.
Yeah.
Right? We vote our conscience.
Yeah.
And that's what I urge everybody to do. Engage less politics. I don't mean you can march on the streets, do whatever you want, because that's America. But disliking somebody because they have a different point of view, really?
Well, disliking the president because he doesn't necessarily condemn.
But there's nothing you can do about it until the next.
Yeah, but you can have an opinion about it. I mean, you're pretty quick to criticize some.
Sure, of course. But to turn on your friend or your next door neighbor because they don't agree with you is the height of stupidity.
Well, I'm not.
In other words, how you feel about I don't mean you and I.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Everybody take a breath, realize that it's other people, the guy that disagrees with you, it's his America too.
Yeah. Well, I what I love about what KISS does and what you've done, most of your career is bringing people together. And I think this event is a really sure positive sign of that. And, we're looking forward to seeing you, Gene.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Stay well.
Okay, thanks. See you, man.
Bye.